Welcome back. Joining me now is Ron Shaw, co-chair of this year's United Way campaign. Welcome, Ron.
Hello.
Now you have a very busy job already as CAO at the City of Stratford. What made you decide to say yes to the United Way when this opportunity came up for co-chair?
Well, there's a lot that goes on in our community. A lot of work I do affects the community, and I'm quite loyal to it. But regardless of that, I think the important thing is that the services of the United Way is something that affected my family and myself, and that was a real motivation for me to play a significant role with regard to this year's campaign.
Ron, I know as an employee of the City of Stratford, you have experience, of course, with the city's workplace campaign. Part of your responsibilities as co-chair are going to businesses and organizations and asking them to run a workplace campaign if they don't already have one. What do you tell them about workplace campaigns?
I think the most important thing that we can tell them is about the fact that there are people in our community in need. 1 in 3 people in our community use the services of the United Way or are affected by the services of the United Way in some way, shape or form. So these people are our neighbours, and it's incumbent for us to help them. So we really try to bring forward that message to them that we need you to play an important role with this, whether it's just a few dollars a month or a little bit more. It all adds up and leads us towards our goal.
So I think that maybe what people don't realize is that for the cost of a couple of cups of coffee, they can have that amount coming directly out of their paycheck through a workplace campaign.
Yeah, when we do the workplace campaigns, they hand out forms that you can go for automatic deductions on the payroll. And a few dollars you won't even notice. It's, as you say, it's the same as a cup of coffee or 2 a day. Whatever you can afford a little bit, it's just you're just giving up a little bit, but it makes a big difference in the end, and it makes a really big difference in the lives of these people.
And if I remember correctly, this is going back a few years now, but I believe the money coming in from workplace campaigns is about 2/3 of the actual total amount that comes in through the campaign. Is that correct?
Well, yes, it's a very large amount of money. Without those workplace campaigns, we would be nowhere.
So it's really, really important then that not only do we keep the workplace campaigns that we already have, but that we're also gaining new workplace campaigns for this year. Would you say that that's the bulk of your responsibility as co-chair this year?
Well, a lot of what I've been doing is going out and visiting these workplaces. We've tried to identify some new ones to come on board, and we also spending a lot of time with the people or the companies that have existing campaigns to try to make sure that they continue on with them, and that they increase them a little bit, because our goal's gone up by around $35,000. We need people just to dip in their pockets a little bit more and just give a little bit more each time, and hopefully add a few more contributors.
Yes. Now, when you say 1 in 3 people in Perth County, I've of course heard that number before. Sometimes I think people don't realize if they have a child visiting a youth center, or if they have someone who's taken a babysitting course through the St. John Ambulance or First Aid, visited the community food center or used family counseling services, that these are all agencies being funded by the United Way. Often we think of the services of the United Way as being hidden, and we don't know that people are using services that are out there. Are you getting feedback from people regarding that?
Well, one of the things I've discovered as I've gone around and talked to people is that I've been surprised by the people I know that use the services of the United Way that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't started down this road. So I think everybody should think that they probably know people that use the services of the United Way, people that they know and love and their neighbours. It's just another reason to really step up to the plate this year.
Our United Way represents 2 counties, actually, Perth and Huron counties, and you are working with a co-chair. So you have Wayne Smith, who's basically representing Huron County as well. So what's it like working with a co-chair?
Well, it's great working with a co-chair, and it's even better working with Wayne Smith, because he's such a pleasure to work with as a partner. He takes care of primarily the Huron County, and I concentrate on Perth, but also because I'm from public sector and he's from private sector, that we do try to use our talents to the best effect on whatever county it is in, and we just sort of put our heads together and figure out what's the best thing that each of us can do for the overall campaign success.
It's great to be able to have a co-chair, and you're both very visible people with a lot of great experience. I hope that this will be a very exciting time for you as you wrap up the end of this year. We're looking forward to the campaign wrapping up early in 2014. So as we finish up our time here, Ron, just tell us again what the goal is for this year's campaign that we're trying to reach.
Well, the goal is $1,115,000. We're 17% of the way there, and we're excited about that, but we're not going to rest on our laurels. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Not a bit. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us, Ron. When we return, we'll be back in the studio with Police Constable Tony Burrows.